All right, welcome back. Got a package in the mail today from Georgia. So this should be the Cannondale parts I've been looking for. Let's go ahead and open it up, take a look. All right, so here's the box. We're gonna go ahead and open it. Yep. See what we got inside. Oh, peanuts. Oh, there's peanuts in here. Well, that's probably for the best. I guess I didn't cut this side all the way. Go ahead and get that again. All right, got that. Go ahead and open it. First thing I see is an air filter. And honestly, this looks very new. Very, very new. Oh yeah. So brand new air filter from No Toil. Set that right there. I got the top half of the air box. Oh no, I may need more parts. This is actually a very clean one. Looks very new. That might not even be used. So that's awesome. This was only like $12. Then I got the airbox plate. This one is nice and unmodified, which will go perfectly with this airbox. I have almost all the pieces to make the full thing. Oh, it looks like I do have everything I need right here with the brand new velocity stack to go on the bottom of the lower airbox half. So I'll have to put the plates and rivets on that. I got a upgraded fuel cap. I guess these are made in Italy and this guy sources them from there, but they're a vast upgrade from the stock Cannondale cap, which will make I would say a safer riding experience, because the old ones, the one on the old tank I have seems to kind of, you can just pull it off, which is not good. Oh, this is probably the valve cover. It's kind of packaged weird. So this is the aluminum valve cover. Oh man, that is a nice casting so far. So aluminum valve cover. It'll have to probably be cleaned up. There's some glue involved here. I think that's epoxied on, so I'll have to clean that off. But this is a very nice piece. Oh man, that's perfect. That'll go right on top of the motor. All right, and then I got a steering stem bushing that he also makes. That way, oh, it's already cut. This one's made out of polyurethane, because the old one on the handlebars over there will actually, it's to the age where it's gonna shatter if I mess with it too much. So get ahead of that problem. Got that ordered. Let's see. This is the valve cover kit with the new water pump seal in it. Set that right there. And there's supposed to be an impeller in here somewhere. Not seeing it off the top of my head. Not seeing it offhand yet. I'll have to clear out some of the things here. Oh no, I needed that piece. All right, well, I'll have to give him a call and see where that is. So, unfortunate, but sometimes this happens. All right, so it turns out it's completely wrong. It's actually in the valve cover gasket bag. wrapped up in this tissue paper. So I do have everything I need to start putting this thing together. All right, so I got the motor sitting up on the bench. Now I can start taking it apart. I'm gonna have to remove this whole side cover. I can probably leave that on the side cover so I don't have to break this gasket. But before I do that, I'm gonna have to drain all the oil because this is the transmission side and I can tell that it is already full of oil. Here's the fill cap, that's all in the same cover. I'll also have to remove the starter because these two bolts are holding it. And then I wanna say this is the oil filter. I don't see anything else that would be the oil filter, so I'll probably take that apart while I'm in there. So let's go ahead and get this apart. All right, so I got it apart, got the valve cover off. One thing I noticed about this engine is in the side cover, the blown up one had these 3 gears in plastic. These appear to be aftermarket, potentially aftermarket metal. And this one is way shinier than the other two. I'm not sure why that is. I'm gonna have to ask around and figure that out. Which means somebody may have been in this motor. So what I've done so far is I've actually cleaned up the surface here. I still gotta spray a rag with some brake parts cleaner and really get the oil out of the surface there before I start reassembly with my new gaskets. You can see up here that these oil seals separate this oil from the transmission oil. So it looks like the transmission oil does the whole timing chain set, and then it has its own oil reservoir for the valves and the crank and the camshafts. But looking at these camshafts so far, they seem to be in pretty good shape and not flattened out. So I'm gonna stop here and take a couple pictures so I can reference them later to put this back together to see if I have everything to potentially send this off for a rebuild. More on that later. This right here is the old valve cover that came off of this. And like I showed you in the previous videos, all of this is pitted and starting to disappear. And on the inside here, right in that corner, you can see where it actually came through and put coolant in the oil. And that's why I have the brand new aluminum one on here. All right, so I cleaned off the surfaces of the head, cleaned off these seals. Gonna be going back together with a little bit of Permatex Ultra Black oil resistant gasket maker, along with the seal kit that came with this. I did open the water pump, and it's actually a very nice billet unit, which is outstanding, especially for that price. So this will be going in it too. And now we start reassembly. All right, so one last thing I'm doing before I take the motor off of the bench is on these engine mounts up here. I guess they're prone to breaking, so there's a little sleeve in there with threads for the original motor mount. I'm trying to press those out, and all I really have to do this is a whole table mounted vise. So I got my socket in there for the bushing to push into, vise lined up on here. And what's gonna replace that is there is a bolt laying right here, because I haven't picked it up yet, that goes all the way through the engine mount with this spacer in the middle to actually brace that and keep it from breaking. So I'm gonna get that pressed out and get it set up for that spacer and bring it back over to the cradle to start reassembly in the frame. Well, would you looky there, the motor is back in the frame. So that's gonna pretty much end it for this video. That thing was kind of difficult to get in there, so I'm gonna take a break, and in the next video we'll go ahead and start full assembly on this and build us a whole four-wheeler. Till next time.